Okay, example 8. I had two problems on this one, but the bottom one on the red-green color blindness is very similar and actually has the same genotypes as the previous example for the sex-linked colorblind recessive trait, so we're just going to skip that one. Okay, so in rabbits, the coat color black is dominant over brown. Short hair is dominant over long hair. So we're dealing with two different traits. One's dealing with the coat color and the other one with hair length. So we know that this is going to be a dihybrid cross. Okay, so black is dominant over brown. So black is going to be represented with a capital B. Doesn't matter what the next allele is. And brown is going to have two recessive alleles. Short hair is dominant over long hair. So we're going to have to use the letter S because that's dominant. We just need one dominant allele in order to have short hair. We would need two recessive alleles in order to have long hair. All right, let's figure out our parent genotypes. So cross between a heterozygous black, which means it has a dominant allele and a recessive allele. Heterozygous short-haired male, so again another dominant allele and recessive allele, is crossed with a brown hair, so two recessive alleles, long-haired, also two recessive alleles, females, and kind of give the genotypes and phenotypes for the F1 generation. So F1 generation just means the first file generation, meaning generation, the next generation, not the one after that. So we set up our dihybrid cross. You can also do your key. I'll go ahead. I didn't really leave enough room, did I? Okay, we'll do the key down here. Okay, we have 4 phenotypes, so I always start with that. Black and short. We can have black and long. We can have brown and short. And brown and long. Okay, so black and short are dominant phenotypes, so all we need is one dominant allele. Doesn't matter what the second one is, and we have that phenotype. Black is dominant, we just need one dominant allele. Long is recessive, so we need two recessive alleles. Brown is recessive, so we need two recessive alleles. Short is dominant, so we just need one dominant allele. Again, brown, recessive, and then long is also recessive. Okay, I'm going to have to erase this. All right, so let's do our cross. We need our 4x4. And we do our little foil pattern. So this allele goes with this allele. And this allele could also pair with that allele. And then the same thing here. Or here. Okay. And then parent 2 can only donate a recessive allele for each. Okay, anytime you have something that's repetitive, so all of these would be BS. You don't have to fill out all of them. You get the same ratio. So I'm going to skip doing the rest of this. You'll get the same result, the same ratio if it's reduced. So we're just going to look at the top one. Again, always write your capital letter first or dominant allele first. And then 2 lowercase. Okay, so now let's check what our offspring genotypes match our phenotypes on the key. So black and short, we need 2 dominant alleles, one for coat color and one for hair length. That one's it. So we have 1 black and short. For black and long, we need 1 dominant allele and then 2 recessive for hair. So that's actually going to represent that. For brown and short, 2 recessive and 1 dominant. Oh, and then this would represent both recessive. So we can see our offspring, we got 1, 1, 1, 1. If you had filled out the rest of them, you would have got 4, 4, 4, 4, which is still a 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 ratio, or 25% chance of getting any of these particular phenotypes with this parental cross.